Thank you, Alan. So as we continue talking about romantic relationships and addiction and how those can work hand in hand, do you guys have a specific relationship that has ever suffered? Or maybe it's even a sibling or a friend of yours. Relationship really suffer because of somebody's addiction, like gambling. Like I feel like specifically I know sports gambling and all of that. It's affected so many families. But I want you guys to give me your own stories. Do you have a case study of yourself or a friend who just gambled and you couldn't believe what you were seeing?
Okay, I have a friend in campus mwenye alikuwa anapenda sana kucheza hii game. In fact, vile Alan amesema, I'd prefer getting addicted na nikuwe na hiyo console kuliko ukuwe addicted na hauna, you know.
Na unatumia pesa kila time.
Hata haikuwa pesa. He had a friend, he goes play. So naacha huyu mbebi wake wapi? Kwa nyumba. So the guy is always out anakuja tu kidogo anaenda kucheza. You know, hawezi enda na
marinate alafu unasahau kuweka kwa oven.
So unapata inakuwa the whole time the baby yako hapo walikuja wakafight though sijui kama ni hiyo. Ilichangia tu. So you'd get, I'd rather nikuwe addicted na nikuwe na hii console. Nikuwe nikicheza
kwa nyumba pamoja.
There's a half time.
Yeah, niende half time tuendeleze shughuli zetu kidogo. Yeah.
Emmanuel, do you have a case study of your own stories?
Naweza sema to the ones that I've had.
Okay.
And
you don't tell us the ones that you know. Will they be watching?
Even if they are watching, they know themselves.
Yeah.
They still do it. That's their way of getting off. Congratulations to them. However, the thing becomes strike a balance.
Okay.
Just strike a balance, because at the end of the day, too much of something is dangerous.
Yes.
Whatever you choose to engage it. So you'll find someone, you wake up in the morning. Since it's a habit, the first thing you're thinking after breakfast, analyze. You get? You've not thought of anything else. Am I saving? Am I what? Am I?
Yeah.
Analyze.
Yeah.
So, and then when you start analyzing, there's always paralysis of analysis.
Okay.
So you analyze, you've analyzed. Masai menda bado ujeka out. So you're spending so much of your time on an activity that is probably getting you less than 10% of all your revenue.
Yes.
You know, with the hope that ndagonga yo 200 million pia mimi niomoke. You get?
Yeah.
So it's just about strike a balance. Sawa, fine. You've decided one of my ways of trying to make money is gambling.
Yes.
Balance it.
You know, it's interesting
that
you say that. Because they're professional
gamblers out here.
They are professional gamblers, but interesting that you say that. What happens with if you're addicted to something and you have a problem with something, and if you're doing something to make the money, right? If I'm gambling to make the money, I would know. First of all, let me start off with, there's an analysis you've done of your entire revenue while you're playing that thing. One of the most humbling things I've ever done, and something that also taught me so much about myself and how I should cost and value myself, is you take your monthly salary, divide it by the number of days that you work, then divide it by the number of hours. So you know how much 1 hour of yours doing that thing that you're good at is worth.
Exactly.
When you know that, and you're aware of that, it'll be so different when you're now using your money for frivolous things or for fun things, or you want to invest in something. Because nitajua nikilipa 100 bob, 100, maybe I'm worth 200 bob an hour, right? Once I pay 200 shillings, and maybe I only paid for 30 minutes, you've gone over and above what you'd make. And it's like a really good analysis to like sober yourself on this thing. No matter what you tell yourself, kuna kenye unajambia na kuna reality. Ukifanya mathematics, hiyo sasa ndio reality. Na kuna venye unajambia. But I have to admit, even me as Susan, when I saw that guy get a check of 260 million, I said, maybe even me, I should try this thing. For real. I downloaded the app that day. Like, I was just so curious. Yeah, I was just like 260, like one off, like this is a, and for me it was like, naweza fanya zile vitu bado nafanya.
Hiyo ni kabla wa introduce taxes.
260 million itapatana na mimi on the ways.
Hata moja tu.
You know? Hata 260 million, hata 260 million. There's even the smaller bonuses, hata 10, hata 5. Pali tu tutapatana. But I opened the app and started doing it. When I actually had to commit my own money, I was like, nah, this, I'm feeling different. I'd rather use that 50 bob on a sweet or some chocolate. So how do we work on our psychology? How would you advise somebody ukiona wase wanashinda your money? Because like right now, wash is a very good example. You can do gambling and all of that, or you can just go into corruption or lying to people. And we're seeing them living very lavish lives. So you want that lifestyle.
I think chenye tu nilianza na kusema, everything we do out here is because we want a better life for ourselves. You know, whether I decide to gamble, whether I decide to be a wash guy. So
and even in our respective careers, the four of us.
Exactly. Yeah, you're doing what you're doing, trying to get ahead of, you know, of everyone else, or even yourself, if you're not competing with everyone. So it's simple. First things first, you have to know one basic reality. Can you make money off gambling? Yes. There are people who sit at poker tournaments. There are people who play, you know, virtual gaming, and they get money and they get paid for it.
Very true.
However, for you to get to that level, you have to be strategic. You don't just wake up in the morning and, let's say, for example, I'm an Arsenal fan. You get? I know my team right now is crap. It's not playing well.
Right.
Then I'll still take that money out of my emotional connection to the club.
To the team.
And place it on, and yet there is tomorrow, take for example, Man City is playing, and I know the team Man City is playing, they can yorosha 3 or more goals.
Right.
So you see, at that point in time, you've made a foolish, you know, let me say investment.
Yes.
So wanajitanga international investors,
Yeah.
investing in different markets across the
Yes.
So imagine umechapa hiyo analysis So ni ujue tu kubalance, kuwa strategic. Kama umeamua hiyo ndo njia unataka kumake do nayo, now start learning the skill.
Yeah.
It's like you want to be an artist, yet you don't wake up in the morning to practice your instruments. You don't you know, listen to good music so you can write good music.
Right.
Or if you're a footballer, for Ronaldo to get onto that pitch, he has to train.
Yes.
For him to be that good.
Yes.
Learn his craft, learn how to dribble, learn how to shoot. You, the only thing you want to know is who's playing today, who can I... You're entering into it blindly. So lack of a strategy in anything in life, you'll always lose.
Yeah.
You get? Now, Pia, number 2, what you said about the financial part. Wait. And just every month or every week, go to they normally have that column in the betting. Check how much have I spent, how much have I won.
Yes.
Na uache kujipima. Kama
Just
unaona
look
doi
at
na
the
kama
maths, the numbers.
unaona doi inaenda. Imagine ungechukua hiyo 100k uweke hata kwa sako mahali. You get?
It
Imagine
would have been a
ungechukua
very different
100k
result.
uweke kwa kabiz fulani mahali.
Very
Unaona?
true.
Ungekuwa get do yako hivyo.
Yeah.
So ndio unataka kuomoka. Ndio there's that promise that I can make it instantly once. But ask yourself, all across ever since gambling started, I kid you not, there have been less than 1,000 winners.
Yes. In fact.
And how many are we in the world? We are billions.
Yeah, we're billions of us.
You get?
Yeah.
So if 2% is winning, who is the fool? It's not the gambling company.
No.
It's you who doesn't have a strategy.
Yeah.
So jipange na ufanye hiyo kitu ukiwa na plan. You'll see
Yeah.
better results.
Yeah.
That's
Eric,
what I think.
You're an artist, and I know that word usually brings a lot of controversy, or even in the creative world. But artists do want to naambiwango, even as children, when you're trying to pick your course and when you're trying to pick your career, that's the struggle lifestyle. You're not gonna make any money doing that. Or if you are, you're usually an exception. Like it's are you willing to risk that you are the exception? But I think now that we've seen creative industries grow and we have seen people really feed their families, do their own thing, open their own companies, it's the same as any other career. Ni bidii ile unaeka, talent hiyo uko nayo plus ile bidii unaeka. But financial pressure, wewe unasikianga kama mimi uko na wase wakipatiwa hizo checks.
Or debate.
How would you tell, like, now young men who are watching this show, how do you deal with that? Okay, now you're 200 million, 5 million, whatever win. How are you supposed to not gamble?
Sizi waambia wasitry, unajua watatry.
Right.
Just try, uta lose too, you know. Yeah, you just try. Hata mimi the first lady who won 221 or something.
Yes.
Akasema it was my 5th
time to try. Oh, those are the worst.
Like alikuwa anabahatisha, nikasema hata mimi naweza jaribu. I downloaded, nikatry, I betted, nilibet 2 times. I betted, I'm a bet. Nilibet 2 times.
Yeah, both betted, bet ni sawa.
Then it was just 100 shillings each.
Yes.
But ilikuja ikaniuma sana. Nilifikiria nikasema a third time and a fourth time nikingoja hiyo mara ya 5 ya huyu mama nishinde.
Yes. It's 1,000 bob gone.
So utawa advice, lakini bado ukiwin leo wata try.
Yeah.
So you just tell them to try, wata lose na ama wata win.
You know, I wish it was
so
possible.
It's a 50-50.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50.
And then I wish somebody knew this money that you're putting there to gamble, it's going straight to the gambling person or to the person that has won.
And the government,
you see,
since
it's
now they're taking
statistical.
taxes.
If you two pick it's a football game, there's only 2 teams. It'll either be win, lose or draw, right? Those are the only chances. So there's you two and there's us two who will pick different teams, and maybe we'll put a little bit of money into the draw. At the end of the day, when you guys lose your money, it's coming to us.
Yeah.
If we all lose our money because it went to a draw, it's going to the company. Pesa bado imeenda kwa mutu somewhere. So the way you were talking about, we need to think about that money if it remained with me. If I put it in savings, M-Shwari, KCB, Pesa, it's just on your phone. It's not even a struggle. You can put just a little bit of money. Money that earns you money. Is it that difficult for us to be able to do that? Is it that difficult for men to be able to be like, okay, sitaiweka kwa gambling, nitaiweka kwa hii naiona?
I think it's difficult because of the pressures of life. Like,
True.
Like as a man, in fact, we give ourselves more pressure than the pressure that comes from outside.
Right.
Yeah, like as a man, the first thing you think of is just go make it in life, just making it in life. And maybe you're a firstborn somewhere,
True.
or a boyfriend somewhere.
Yeah.
And if you're a firstborn, the expectations from
True.
your siblings. If you're a boyfriend, the expectations from your girlfriend. So, and given the economic status right now,
It's a mess.
not easy to come by money.
Yeah.
In fact,
Do you guys realize that there's no money even dropped in town anymore?
yeah, you can't pick
Somebody
money.
asked me that the other day, and I was like, it's true. You no longer walk. And I remember there was a time you would see even a coin, you'd see a 50 bob, you'd see our new notes. Miss Jay on a new note kwa ground,
You
mahali.
can't pick money from the ground.
Yeah.
The economy is that tough.
Nimeokota pao juzi.
Are you serious? Where?
Asisemi.
So ni
That's what I wanted to
juzi.
know.
Ni juzi.
Ni juzi.
So siku mbili.
Hizo ndio zilikuwa, hizo ni wash. Hizo ndio zinapotea.
Oh, zile
wanatusaidia sisi
ila ni
yale.
print ikaanguka.
Badala ya kuosha na chafua.
Exactly.
So I was saying the pressures of life, and I just wanted to share the story of a friend. Sure, you will not watch because I'll see to it. Yes, it's
Yes.
But we have a friend when he's addicted to gambling, but he doesn't know. Ajua ako addicted to gambling na limemletea a lot of problems, financial problems.
Yeah.
Like unapata kuna decisions zenye na make in life about money zenye zinakushangaza.
Impulsive.
He used to be working, analipwa mshahara but hananga pesa. Sasa kakaa chini kashangaa. What's up? Like pesa yake kwenda wapi?
Yeah.
And then kuna siku nikampatia simu ati hebu nisaidie mzee mpigie sijui nani. Anachukua akipiga and then anamaliza kupiga, then he stays with the phone for long. Alafu mimi mtu lazima niko na simu yangu sasa like wewe kwani
What are we doing?
pata yako virtual betting. So that guy pesa yenye anapatanga hata sasa ukimpatia 200 cha
Immediately.
then he starts virtual betting. And it became a problem. Hadi jobs zingine kama ana pesa ya kuweka hapo anaingia hapo kwa job anaangalia.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh, kakash.
Kakash anaweka kwa mfuko kuja baadaye kufanya auditing, hiyo pesa inaenda wapi?
I'm surprised even M-Pesa, kama alikuwa na M-Pesa kodi yako ni pesa zako akitumia.
Unasema nini? Anaweza chukua M-Pesa yako, uende hivi ati sijui nalipa mali anakucha ashajua. Next time unakuja unashangaa,
Yeah.
niko na deni ya 3,000.
You're seeing a company you have never even known.
Unaambiwa unafaa kulipa 3,000. 3,000
And you're like, from where?
kutoka hapi ukienda kuangalia statement unapata alichitumia.
Yeah.
So like hiyo kitu imekuwa shida sana. And
How do you now help such a friend?
I think what I'm trying to understand from the friend is this is someone who has anataka to make it. But unfortunately for him, the manner in which he's choosing, au ndo wenye alikuwa kwambia zero strategy to make it is speculative. And it's speculative in a form where it's not speculative na with a bit of thought. Let me speculate with 5k. You get what I'm trying to say? Him, he wants to speculate kama ule mama wa ndajaribu mara ya kwanza, ya pili, ya tatu, ya nne, ya tano, hopefully. Then remember one thing, when you lose money, naturally, whether you're an investor or you're a gambler, you'll always want to make it back.
Yes.
So there's that carrot in front of the donkey that unashinda ukifuata and you can never actually get to it.
Yeah.
So such a person needs to first understand that what hiyo aache kujidanganya, kitu anataka ni kumake do. You get? So he has to now ask himself, go and do a proper analysis. I have been putting this amount of money into gambling. How much have I made back?
Would you advise his friends to like meet up and essentially have an intervention of sorts?
A discussion. We had a discussion about the same, because sometimes he wins. Unapata.
Of course, yeah.
America, thou, he gets 23k.
Yeah.
Anambia majamaa. Naiva.
Sasa unaona.
Naivasha, sindio?
You see?
And then next time he takes 5k and gets nothing.
Do you feel that because maybe you've been the friends that went to Naivasha with him, you can't be the friends to tell him, you just switch this off?
Why not?
Okay, that's good. I'm glad that you said that. That's good.
Because it's affecting us.
Yeah.
Because ni sisi wenye ataenda achukue simu yako.
Ni ukweli.
Ajitumie pesa yako.
Yeah.
Like
Eric,
ni sisi
I know a guy mwenye aliwininge sijui 120 something thousand. Aka quit job. Alikuwa anafanya.
Do you know that is so popular? It happens more often than you'd think.
Yeah, he's very broke right now. Always kumwa.
Why?
Broke. That money inaishanga. Unajua inakujanga inaisha.
Easy come, easy go.
Yeah, and let me tell you, it doesn't matter what the amount of money is. If the project is to finish money, if the project is to spend and finish it, whether it's 200 million or it's 600 million, first of all, you're all Kenyans who are watching me here, so you know what I'm talking about. If the task is to finish the money, it will be finished. Yeah.
And I think the most dangerous thing is ukikuwa na pesa na unajua utapata nyingine.
Yeah.
Like especially inakonga sana kwa wasanii, naweza tumia example ya wasanii, simu yao tumesikia akilia huko. Like msanii akijua akona 100,000 leo.
Yeah.
Na atapata another 100,000 kesho.
Watoto na pombe.
You'll clear it all in a few hours in a club, but you'll not even stay for late.
Hii pesa itapatana na nyingine.
Meza moja.
Yeah.
Haizipatana na nyingine.
And that
it's the same applies to gambling. Kama umewin pesa yako on Friday. Na weekend ndio kuna game nyingi.
By the way.
Hii pesa
it will make it to Monday.
Because unaweza chukua kama umewin 23, you'll just take like 2.
Yeah.
Weke kando sema hii nitabet games weekend.
Yeah. I want to ask you guys a complicated question. Now, the role of government, the role of even this gambling company themselves. There's been conversations of they should have healthier language on the websites. The example you gave of when the lady won, should somebody had advised her to not say, I only tried 5 times. Should the company have things that they do to protect gamblers or to not create unhealthy habits? Government, I know there was drama a couple of years ago because it was about taxing a certain company this much and all of that. Them trying to control. It was still trying to control and to punguza. So do you think these companies and government has an important role to play and they're the ones who can help rescue a lot of people or reduce? Or do you think nisisi my individual, if somebody is a grown-up, they're a grown-up and they are in charge of their own destiny?
What I feel, that's okay.
Eric,
just go first.
Okay, I think in a lie on these companies, as much as in a market, they should also be airing content yenye inaonyesha watu the opposite side, wanatuletea the people who win. Hawajai tuletea mtu mmoja mwenye lose a lot of money.
That's true.
Wakatuambia huyu mtu ni the first
alimaliza maisha yote.
Amepoteza mshahara yake ya miezi 3 hapa hivi.
Yeah. Na wife ameenda, mtoto ameenda. Those examples are there.
The way ajali hufanyika, tunawekewa gari imeisha kwa barabara, tunaambiwa look at this. Ndio ukiendesha unaona ukisema staki hii.
Yeah.
Watulete mtu mmoja analia anasema nimelose million.
Oh my God. Guys, in fact, give Eric that job. When you're doing that TVC, call Eric.
What I'd say is this. For me, I work with, these companies as a brand consultant.
Yes.
I tend to work with them.
Yeah.
So you have to understand the dynamics around this. There are 3 people here. There's government, there's the company, then there's you.
Yes.
You get? And everyone has their role to play. I can't blame someone who has come up with an idea of how to make money for himself for me making bad decisions and losing out.
Yeah.
However, I can blame him when they choose to present that to me in a manner that is false na inanidanganya that nikiingia nitashinda. Now that's where government comes in. The Gambling and Licensing Act that's actually out there now operational.
Yeah.
There's a section that clearly speaks on prohibition on marketing, prohibition of maybe selling alcohol on premises for casinos and things like that, you know. Then there is also the responsibility of gambling companies to preach the message of responsible gambling. You get? And in countries where, you know, gambling is crazy, especially, let's say UK.
Yes.
Everyone does football and they're called bookies.
Yeah.
You have to have a campaign that, you know, of responsible gambling. You know, what does it entail? And to some extent, some have even been forced to finance self-help groups. So mtu akiwa na shida, ni betting company shakulipia, wewe unaenda tu unakaa chini, unasaidiwa, unakanseliwa and you leave the habit for good. Because I tend to hold the position that create product enye inaweza leta shida, lazima create solution ya kupunguza hiyo shida.
Yeah.
Unaona, usipo you'll end up ruining so many lives because let's be honest, mtu akienda pale anaenda na ile mentality I want to make it. Unaona?
True.
And you can't blame him for that because we all do.
Yeah.
But if you know that if this person comes too hard on this and it's going to cause him, then the responsibility sasa inakuja kwa betting company. Run a campaign, tell people please take a break after this. Stop doing ABC. Stop being impulsive. Ukipoteza do, relax. Enda ulale 2-3 days, regroup your mind and come. So kila mtu ana role ya kucheza. Wewe as an individual, be responsible. You're an adult.
Yeah.
As the company, make sure that you keep reminding people to be responsible. As for government, ensure the companies are behaving in the right way.
Then following the licensing,
following, you know,
act,
the licensing
said,
and everything else
and all
that's
the other
required.
rules. One thing I will add, though, that I've always thought is I feel like they can do a little better. You talked like very clearly about like how you can have the columns on some of the betting apps that will show you how much money you've put in, how much you've lost, or how much you've won and how much you've lost. And I'm like, small little things like how much you've lost. Can we make that column red? Can we make the number like a little bigger? Because they won't do it. But you see, there's small things that you can do. Every time you lose over a certain amount, like maybe they can do statistics in Kenya according to how much people earn or how much people gamble. Every time you've gambled a certain amount, then you get a message just giving you your
I get.
you know what I mean?
It's
a tiny change that they can make. Of course, SMS charges, yes, you'll pay them, but it's a small thing that can change, just kind of reminding the person, because what you guys all talked about here is nobody knows their total of how much they've lost. True. But they know how much they've won, so that's what they'll use.
So like an audit?
Yes.
A little audit?
A message that you get that shows you, and maybe the last thing on that message, the same way our M-Pesa works.
So like a
now
betting
M-Pesa,
statement.
it shows you, you spent this much, you now, you sent this much to this person, and this is how much you have left, and this is how much you can send in the day. What if betting companies, every time you transacted, or at the end of the day, you got a very nice message, and there's emphasis on how much you've put in and how much you've lost, and maybe even the number of games you played.
That's a good product that can be introduced and
Where? It's Susan's idea. I'm patenting it actually.
hey,
I'm gonna go to a lawyer just
do
now.
that. By the way, you should
Own
because what you've said is very important and it's something that can really help a lot of people and it would fall under, you know, now the responsible gambling program that most people are supposed to do.
It's like tiny things, or even how the website works.
Some even have caps. Like you can set a cap. This is how much I'm willing to gamble this month.
Okay.
Once you reach that cap, your account is suspended for the period of days that maybe you've agreed.
Yes.
Then you'll resume after that. That would help. You know, and if that can now be synchronized across all platforms, which of course they won't, it's not
exactly,
easy.
but
you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
In short, we need to have measures that protect both the consumer and also the bookmaker, because this person is in business. Government expects him to pay 100 million license every year. So they have to strike a balance.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. This has been an incredible episode on addiction. Before we close, I want you guys to tell everybody where they can find you on the socials and be able to get your services. So let's start with Eric.
Yes, as you've heard, me ni msanii, I'm an artist. You can find me on YouTube, Denrick Africa. Una search Denrick Africa. Stage name ni Shairiki. You can search Shairiki, utapata ngoma kadhaa hapo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming through. Alan, your social media handles?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram. Emperor Shaker and Authoritative.
Hapo wataona hizo vitu zingine zote unafanyanga.
Most
And
of them.
Emmanuel, for yourself?
Yeah, so guys, you can find me across all social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Bibu Gwambo. Let's Talk Matters, branding consultancy, and more importantly, issues relating to men in society.
Thank you so much, guys. It's been amazing. I will consult with you guys if I want to game. Probably not gamble, but game, maybe. Na msanii nitakutafuta.
Tafute tuimbe manze.
Exactly. I'm with it. This has been Man Talk, guys. You'll find us next week at the same place, right here on KTN Home. Bye-bye.